Okay, so we finally have the orange car back in here to get some work done. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is installing the engine harness, which is the KENITIC wire tuck harness, along with the plug-and-play harness that is just an adapter onto his wiring kit, along with the fuel pump rewire. So we have these out here now, all right? The Watt box harness is actually a new addition. The fuel rewire is actually new. This is a repurposed engine harness. So this was installed on a car for not long, honestly. And we're now using it on this one. So technically this was a used harness, which is no big deal for what we are doing. Now, I think that's maybe where that plugs in. I don't know, look. So basically what I'm going to be doing is going through here and seeing what is all here, how everything connects, where the wires are going to run, where they're going to fit best. Looks like we had somebody play with something here at one time. So I think that's a cool pack. Someone was tapping into something there in the cool pack. So I'm going to double check everything on this harness. I'm going to go over it. If there's anything like this that needs to be addressed, I don't know why someone would do that to quite an expensive harness. No clue. You always question yourself when you see things. Anyway, I'm going to go over this thing. We're going to get this thing laid in. We're going to see exactly how this thing fits. All right, so I guess the best way to do this is to just do it and kind of figure out where everything's got to go. Yeah. All right, so I believe that's got to come back that way. This. Some of the stuff moved out of the way here. Alright, now. Okay. Injector 2. Starter. Okay. So, I think the way this is going to go is it's actually going to come down underneath. Like that. And these will all come up from the bottom. Right? So we know the red wire should go here, which I don't have a wire on the starter yet. Oh, I mean a nut. Yeah, a nut. So we have that there. Okay. Knock sensor. We have to install. And there's this one. This will go onto the starter. What I was trying to find was crank sensor, okay? Because this one gets to be damn beyond all of this good stuff right here. So I've got to maybe, I believe, unbolt the starter so that I can get access to that. I'm going to try to get that from the bottom. And then we have, what is this one? Map sensor. Everything's just so woven together here. Coil pack. Cam. Cam sensor. The best way to get this up here. No, it's just a little weird that it runs like that. I'm sure that there's actually going to be some trial and error to this. So I figure out exactly how I want these wires laid across here. Alright, so there's our coil pack. AC clutch. Oh, the AC are both on their own feed here. So, let's see if we can get these down here. Alright, so basically we kind of just ran these up through here. Just like I said, maybe I can come underneath and see if they'll fit out up from behind and get them that way. I have the air conditioning plugged in. I ran this one this way. I think I'm going to unplug this, go back around. This clump here, which includes speed sensor, oil. This is what goes to your alternator, okay, and your O2 sensor on that side. This right here is what will plug into your main harness, which plug is right here, okay. And then this is for the watt box. Now, I assume if you're not running that, you would plug these together, but if you're running this, that harness will get, got to run this stuff through the firewall. All right, it'll get this plugged in, and then this is for the pedal switch. So something might need changed over there. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. I know that one's set up for that to be ran that way. So we'll just have to figure that out. But these are the two that will have to get run inside so that could get wired up there. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch these couple things around here and see if I can get them to fit a little bit better. This part here, I'm going to drop down straight here, and it's going to follow the power steering lines back across, and it will actually, I guess you run it up and go across underneath over to the alternator, and then that other end will come up through here, plug into their trans. Maybe it'll come up right through this area. I got to see which way is going to fit best for that. And then, yeah, these two here, we got idle air, air temp, and that should be our throttle body. Okay, all right. So we have those going right there. This is your ECM plug, so it's going to go to your ECM, obviously. Okay. So we have everything plugged into the ECM. Now, let's drop this down. These are actually going to want to go with it. Okay. All right. Just kind of trying to hold them in the place where they need to be. Come on. There we go. All right. Now. Okay. So this is everything that's going to be basically in this general area. I have the upgraded one here to go into the pipe that has the threaded connector. I'm going to change these. I had these just laying here across the top because they are the ones that come up through to feed your injectors and your, it's a map sensor, which is located on the back side of this intake, and our injectors are going to be up across the front, so they'll just run up through here. Maybe I'll run 2 through here and I'll run 2 through here, that way they split. Give it a little bit better look on the other side when it's actually in. All right. I need a nut for the power wire here, and then we can get that all connected. But like I said, I'm going to switch these couple. I'm going to go down underneath then. I'll show you what I'm looking at, what I find, what I see, and what's going to look like it's going to be the best way to route that. We can also work on getting our harness connected to the alternator that runs back to the fuel setup there also. So that way we can just put that nut on and then everything's all done at one time back here. Whew, yeah. We got some stuff taken care of here. I fed some wires up. We have the O2 sensor plugged in. You know what I mean? I'm sure I'm still going to have to come back and take care of some other, you know, alignment issues and stuff, but I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, we got these run back underneath. I actually took these two, went under, and then came out back here, right here, and ran the cam and the coil pack up right there, okay? So I have to figure out where I want to come up with this plug here yet, which might end up being underneath here somewhere. Down through here, maybe around on the back side of the trans, or I might come up here and then I'll just like maybe strap it, zip tie it onto these hoses or something. Look, this cat. All right, let's check this out. Excuse me. All right, so whether this is the correct way, the plan is to come up here like this. This is run down across, right through here, okay? Come up here, crossed, went up. Now we're up above our alternator here, okay? And then straight up, we got our plug right there into the back of the alternator. I have the hot onto the alternator, and then there's the O2 sensor up there. Like I said, I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit and get everything strapped back right now. Okay, so here's our plug. This will get zip tied right here. Up through, you can kind of see. Slide back. Okay, so we have these here. I do have, here is the, okay, so there's the one that goes up. Right here's our oil sensor. See it green? And then the speedo sensor right here that we got to plug in. So, like I said, I have to figure out what's going to work best. Now, I'm thinking. All right, I'm going to get those plugged in. But anyway, I think I might take this and try it up right through here, across the top of these, and then up and over, because if I come around the back side, I mean, I could go just like this right here. Let's see how this looks right here. You know what I mean? As long as we're clearing stuff, I just want to make sure that this is down away from that exhaust far enough, which I think that will work out. You know, don't forget, we got to run our fuel back through here, but I got to replace this one clip. It's busted. This one back here is looking a little worn, so I got to fix that one up. But I'll run, usually I like to run that wire right through this area right here, up through, and then I'll tie it in up there. Hi, cat. How are you? But here's our O2 sensor that needs to be plugged in. I'm going to get the oil one right here. I think I can reach up in here. Make sure we grab the right one. Yep, there we go. Okay. So we can get right up in here, add our oil sensor. I'm going to get it plugged in. There we go. Your lock clip on. All right, so it's actually got that down below here. Huh? All right, I'm gonna go up top. I'm going to go up top. I'm gonna make sure I get this pushed up because it just fell down again. I'm gonna go up top and see where these actually are coming out to see if I'm happy with the location of these wires. All right, so this doesn't come up in too bad of a spot. I can actually zip tie this back here to these brake lines over here. Hopefully you can see my thumb, like right down in this area. And that'll actually hold that off to the side. Here is the pigtail for the watt box installation. Watt box. So we'll probably just come up and then I can run it in underneath and come out and I'll feed it down through the harness back here in this corner. So I mean, it's actually a pretty good fitting setup. Like I said, here we go. Here's our fuel pump rewire. We're going to be unboxing that and working on getting that on also right here now. But I mean, everything seems to, you know, I mean, it fits pretty nice. You know, everything's down in here pretty nice. So, I mean, we shouldn't have any issues with the way that this thing's fitting. You know, all of our plugs are here. Everything goes where it needs to go. Actually, quite nicely. You know, this thing is just coming together really good. It is taking a little bit longer than what I want it to. There is some other things that need to be fitted up, like this one here. I'll worry about this too here once I get, you know, maybe some of this other stuff here taken care of with this harness. And making sure that everything, and my fuel line and everything is going to have to go down through here. So I'm going to be strapping that off to the side. Look, I even got to plug in my ABS plug there. Didn't even get to that yet. But I got to get that ABS plugged in. But anyway, all the fuel lines and everything else is going to be down through here. So we got to get everything zip tied and tucked up nice where it's supposed to be and out of the way and not touching our exhaust. See, that one's touching. So we got to get some zip ties back in here. These lines need pop back in. I forgot to pop them back in. That's probably my fault. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of that. I'm going to unbox this or unbag this, and we'll work on getting this run, and I'll show you how that gets hooked up to the back of the alternator, and we'll get that part taken care of also in this little video here with the wiring. I'm sure I'll note some of the different changes or the way stuff fits, or if I changed anything throughout this process and installation of other parts. This thing's already getting dirty. It hasn't even started yet. All right, here we go. We have our fuel pump rewire right here, ready to go for install. And we got our cat helping us here. Look at this. Meow. Who knows? That's what he does, watch. What are you doing? Nothing like having a motor here for a backstop. But, yeah, we're getting ready to install this. Like I said, I like to... So I know it's dark. I like to stick this in here like this. Right. So this is going to go all the way up through like that. See, this here got busted because this car had the fuel, the factory fuel line was removed off of this car. So I've got to dig out a set of these right here, replace this, kind of straighten this one brake line out just a little bit up that way, and then hopefully everything stays up where it's supposed to. But like I said, I like to tuck this in. This is a bracket here that they use to hold the ABS wires that are coming back here for the rear ABS. So What are you doing? Why are you chewing on the wire? You're lucky that thing ain't got power. Huh? What? Cat. Control yourself. Look at this thing. Look. What are you doing? All right, well, pull it to the front. That's where it needs to go. I told you that cat was going to help. All right. So, I have this stuff here. I'm just going to let this hang loose. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything connected up front. We are going to be dropping the tank to get our fuel system installed. We do have to change out the fuel pump assembly here. So, I did just plug this in so that I knew nothing would get in the connector. Right there, nice and clean. Hopefully you can see some of that, especially the part with the cat taking the wire there. Hopefully, yeah. Looks like you might be able to see that. So anyway, that's the way that's going to run. I'm going to go up through here. I'm going to get this fed up, hooked into the back of the alternator. I'll show you what that stuff looks like up there. We got to get the nut on, and then there's the cover. I got to dig out a cover to put on there since this one doesn't have one on. What are you doing? Look at this. Psst, psst. Is it wire day? Goodness. All right, guys. Oh, now you're loving on the camera. This is out of control. Okay, so here is the piece that covers the bolt and stud off the back of the alternator so it doesn't short out on your shield. Okay, now the factory harness goes through this opening down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove both the harness and the upgraded fuel return harness, which both of them will go through here. Then they'll go up into here, and this will snap on this way onto the alternator. Let's get a good view of this. Okay, now you can see, hopefully, the stud right there, okay, which is right here. Now here's our one part of the harness, and then right here is the fuel upgrade harness. Okay, so I'm going to take and hopefully be able to make a worthwhile video out of this. So I'll reach this arm up here. This one's going to feed through like this. It needs to spin around because this has the flatter edge toward the back. Yeah, toward the back. All right. And then you're going to want to do the same thing with this one here. Okay. Because these run, this harness runs to your battery. Well, it runs from the starter, but then the battery wire connects there and runs over. Okay. So we're getting this one pushed on to our alternator. And now we're coming on here with our fuel upgrade harness. Muffin, that was the camera. Okay. So, if you weren't able to see that, I have both of them pushed through the cover, okay? And both of them are now started onto the stud of the alternator. And we have more help. Look at this. Cat. Garage assistant. That's what they tell me. Okay, so I have that started. I just got to get these pushed in here just a little bit, get them to fit up just nicely. Just like this. I now am looking at this, realizing my ratchet here is probably not going to fit, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm trying to put the cover on. All right, I grabbed my stubby 13mm wrench so I can get up in there. Now, I'm gonna stick the camera up in here so you can kind of see. Here is our cover, all right? It's like right out of view. Here's our cover. We're just gonna take it and just clip it right on to the alternator. And the wiring, like this. Okay? So that, right there, keeps it in case, for some stupid reason, this shield here that's connected to ground doesn't touch your alternator and possibly cause a fire. Okay? This has to be here to keep this heat and that manifold heat away from this alternator. That's why I reinstalled that. Okay? Now the alternator is not tight because it doesn't have the belt on it yet, so it's moving around here a little bit. But we're gonna have to double check and make sure that this thing stays on here and is seated correctly. All right, look at that. That is how that should be installed right there. Okay. Now this wire here will probably, I don't know, retain basically right where that's at. Run down through. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it connected here. I gotta replace these, and it's just gonna run back through. Pull a little bit more up this way, if I so desire, and I can tuck this even over farther to the right here, and bring it over even into this, right here, like that. Okay. You know, and zip tie it off to the side. I can zip tie this other one to it. As long as it's nowhere where heat is or something hot or something moving, it will be just fine. So that's pretty much going to conclude getting all of this wiring installed. I don't know why this doesn't want to stay on here. Like I said, maybe it's just because it's chilly. It's actually pretty cold in here right now. So we just got to get that one to fit on right. If I have to, I'm going to pull another one. You know, it's one of those things you just got to get it just right, and they will snap on. Like that. Something like that. You know, this is part of the joys of putting together a car like this. You just got to make sure that stuff is just right. So I'll finish that up. I'll make sure that's on, and we're just going to finish this out here. Hopefully you can see me just chilling out here, laying on the ground. So yeah, wiring's done for the most part. A couple finishing touches. We got the fuel system to do. We have a hydraulic clutch cable to install. We have the rear diffuser to install. And I mean, not everything needs done in that order. I got to get some fluid into this engine transmission, and then we can fire this thing up, which is going to happen really soon. So I'll see you